Welcome back, friends. Got a little bit of downtime. I'm gonna see if I can't build on the win from yesterday. Feeling a little under the weather. My wife is sick, and I'm starting to sneeze, so I hope it's just a sneeze, but we shall see. The black pieces. The black pieces from opponent is from Uzbekistan. If they want to play. Okay. Oh, should I go for it again? Should I try one more time? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how opponent handles the England. Does not take, but reinforces the center. That seems like a solid approach. That does seem like a solid approach. So what if I push in the center and take the center? What then? Okay. So now I have a pawn in the middle. And if I go with typical England ideas like Queen D or Queen E7, I'm dropping a pawn. Um, but what if I just attack the knight first, then we get the bishop development? So I think perhaps gambiting the pawn, gambiting the pawn for now. This pawn looks silly. It does stop the checks though, so how silly is it? Let's gambit the f pawn. He's going to reinforce the center, keep developing. Opponent is uh, not going to fall for the sacrifice material for development approach. Okay. He backs up. Now this pawn is no longer under attack, and I can bring the queen into the attack. And I'm going to castle queenside. And I have to be careful about moving this knight away because then the queen's going to come in. And that could be uncomfortable. Um, Chasing my king out of its safety. So, I mean, why not just take here? I don't know what's White's plan is because he's actually okay developmentally. He's got to get this out. He doesn't want to give me the development. He's just opening up the bishop on this square. Maybe inviting something like if queen takes, knight d4, attacking the queen and the knight. If the knight takes, then the queen gets to jump in. But not immediately because then I have a check and I win the rook. And I think I can risk running around with the king a bit. It is a risk, but What if I just come back with the bishop? What if I do that? If I just come back with the bishop? The pawn's got extra protection. If I take and he takes, then he gets the rook and the bishop lining up on c7, and man, I don't like that idea so much. Um, so maybe I don't take, but well, maybe I could look at trading queens. If I take, he takes, I move to the side, he develops the rook, I bring the queen. He checks and wins my rook, so that doesn't work very well. If I take, he takes, and I take, he takes, and then I bring the queen immediately. He comes in with the queen himself, and then maybe I followed up with the bishop. I'm gonna take. I don't know if this is. I don't know how dangerous this is because I'm really inviting an attack on the C file. Um, but I do think. Guess I'm down a pawn. No, I'm not down a pawn. Material's equal. Let's. Hmm. Do you think this is the idea? Threatening the pawn. He's threatening a pawn, but he's protected by the knight, so he can attack my queen. But then I pick up the other pawn. So do I? No, I definitely don't do that because that's just disastrous. I think I'm going to be running. Oh, and the queen is protecting this pawn. So no, I would not be coming back to get it. I think we just challenge the bishop. And if he takes, I can take with the rook. And he comes to the back rank and pins my knight. Rook takes, queen, king up. Rook takes, queen check, king up. Maybe something like rook here. Rook a6, attacking the queen. This is protected. So queen would have to come here. No, that's protected by the queen. The queen would be trapped. So rook up. Rook up. I'm threatening to trap the queen. Um, okay, he attacks my queen. Fair. So what are my options here? Am I down? I am down a pawn now. My queen is under attack. I think if I come back, I'm running into a discover. And if I take, I'm running into a rook here. Queen over and queen takes. Doesn't look great. If I come back, then he does have the back rank. So I come up and there's hmm, if I take and he threatens and then I threaten, he takes, I just lose a piece. He takes, I take, he takes. I'm down a rook. So no bueno. I take, he threatens. I sidestep. He checks. I run. I'm going to go down another pawn. Hmm. That is going down another pawn, and I don't know that I want to do that. My other option is here and go into the discover, and I can't. Maybe I just retreat here, keeping defended. And then if the queen comes back, I run and hmm, I don't want to take. I think taking is just disastrous. That's going to run into an attack. So I think this is the only move. Unless I trade queens, I could trade queens, but this does run into the discover, and now I have I'm on the back foot a little bit. My rook feels a little out of place up there. So how do I recover? I'm gonna have to watch out for skewers moving my king. Knight here, and maybe I end up trading queens anyway. Or queen here, followed by bishop here. Messy. Can't move my knight because it's gonna fall to let's get our king up out of there and watch for light square threats here. My pieces are so discoordinated at the moment. Um, I'm not liking the position I got myself into, but it's still there's still life if I can. All right, so he's threatening to pin and win immediately. Seems greedy. Is greedy. It's kind of a cheap shot. Um, so I've got to move the queen or the king, and I think waiting to move the queen because if the bishop moves, then I can have this square. But then queen takes, queen takes, queen takes with check. So maybe I do have to trade queens. I think either way, I got to move the king. Yeah, just looking at that, and now I'm running into some rook c1 ideas, and that doesn't seem great. So let's do the queen trade, and then I can lift. I can lift the c pawn. Hmm, it's interesting. Doesn't that fail immediately to just bring in the rook back? I believe I win the queen here. Ah, well, now he gets to go back. He does get to go back. Now if I develop the knight, the rook's coming to threaten the queen, and I have no good. I'm giving up another pawn with this advanced pawn here. That doesn't look great. Maybe I bring the bishop back to defend this. The rook comes over, and now I sidestep with the queen. Seems like the only thing I've got. Gosh, this is an ugly position. This is such an ugly position. Just trying to hold everything together by a shoestring. Good lesson on how to play against gambits. My opponent did not neglect development and um, did a good job on neutralizing my attempts to gain initiative. Now, if I take the queens and the queen and the rook is piled up on this square. Um, if I move, same thing is true. But what about this? Queen here, queen takes, pawn takes, and rook check. And wait a minute. No, this pawn's a danger here. Queen here, queen takes, pawn takes, a7. Bishop's got to block to defend against this. That's so bad. I'm in such a terrible position. Hmm. Queen here, queen takes, pawn takes, pawn forward. And that is such a bad deal. Well, other options to take and to accept my fate here and go backwards and rook takes. And that would give me a chance to develop the knight and disconnect the pieces. I think I've got to take. I cannot risk letting that queen. So knight here. I'm gonna have to go for cheap tricks. Takes, takes, queen here, threatening the knight and mate. I don't have very many good options. He stumbles into a back rank problem. That might be my only hope. He comes back, he's safe because I can't take it. I'm running into serious checkmate threats here. Oh, he just comes back with the rook, so things are solid. Um, and if I take, he takes with check, and I run, and just he just takes the pawn. Yeah, take check. King runs, takes the pawn, and mates to follow. No, the queen. Well, the queen could come back to protect against the mate. No, because I got mate here too. Um, nothing, nothing enjoyable about this. So what about knight here? That might be my best option. Folks, when you play dubious openings, sometimes you get worse positions. That's just the nature of it, and you have to realize that going in to dubious openings. Sometimes they're fun, but your opponent does not always play into your hands, which is why it's good to know the mainline openings. It's very good to know the mainline openings. Um, I'm going to give this England Gambit some more um, some more practice, and it's going to be kind of up my sleeve in my repertoire, but it's definitely not going to replace the Grunfeld or the London, but not the London, the Dutch. The Dutch is my response to D4. Hmm. And there's other okay lines against the London. The England is my attraction to it is that it prevents the London. But this position's terrible. Terrible. Oh, he wants to trade queens. We're gonna trade queens. All right. Let's trade queens. No other option there. Gotta do it. So what now? On push? Do we just push pawns? I think so. I think we just push pawns. Thirty seconds is not a whole lot of time to play out a chess game, and I fully expect my opponent to continue punishing me, but I'm not going to give up. Um, two pawns down and a pretty bad position, but I'm not going to give up. Checks here, forces me here, and then he forks my rook and king. Doesn't this? This also like pause issues. This is my only move, so I've got to make it. Now, checkmate. Checkmate. Well done. Well done. Let's see where I went wrong aside from the opening choice. I'm not terribly ashamed of this game. I might be after I see this analysis, but yeah, I played it like a 1450. Dubious opening, dubious middle game. Um, Not my finest hour, but uh, I never had an edge. Opponent did give up his once or twice here, but that was just a very good systematic tearing apart of the England. So this was a mistake. He should not have done it, but of course the computer's going to say take the material. Another error. I should have just advanced the pawn, which in hindsight looks incredibly obvious. Incredibly obvious. Just advance the pawn and then take the center. And I believe I've done that in the past, not against C3 particularly, but I will advance the pawn in the future. Um, mm, a mistake. I should have hit the bishop and just gone all in on my kingside attack. Mm, yeah, castling queenside. Thought he should have grabbed the material. Takes, takes. This was dubious. I should have just slid over. Um, hmm. I thought if I'd slid over, though, I was running into this. Hey, love. I am. Um, I was running into that, but I could just continue and I give up another pawn, but oh no, I don't. Yeah, I do because the rook is coming in and the queen's there, but I don't know. That seems too congested. Not that my solution was uh, free roaming pieces. Attacking the queen. So he's only got a point 0.5 edge here, which doesn't seem incredible. What is my best move here? What's the idea? Um, just take the pawn? That seems ludicrous. I should have just taken the pawn. I should have just taken the pawn. If this, then this, then this, and that's horrible. Horrible. Oh, I missed that mating net. He can't really take the queen if my rook is here. Hmm. That's a tricky move to find. Um, Need to practice some mating nets, it looks like. And suddenly my rook is in the game. But all he has to do is create Luft, and there's no more mate. So now I have to move the queen. But that's okay. Then I just move the queen to where? Maybe here, so that I lift the rook and I'm threatening the seventh or the second. Nope, that's a blunder. Oh, I don't know. I don't even move the queen. I check. Of course I check. Takes, takes. In the okay. Attack, attack, attack. I started to feel constricted and um, couldn't find the best alternatives. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a tough game for me. Not my best. And for the rest of it is just a clinic on how to squeeze. That pawn move was a good move. Pawn move was a very good move. Um, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It won't be the last time you see the England from me, but that was a tough loss. So, uh, like, share, subscribe, leave any comments if you found better ideas that I missed. I look forward to seeing you next time.